What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Folks, we're here with Nathan Davis here, New Hampshire Wildcats head coach out of America, East Durham, New Hampshire. Coach, how you doing up there in New Hampshire, man? How's the weather up there, man, so far?
Man, it's hot today. It's the weather. It's actually really nice up here. It's a great area to live. You're 30 minutes from the beach. You're not far from the mountains, so there's a lot of good stuff going on. But the weather's good.
I hear that, Coach. Tell me about this opportunity up here in New Hampshire, man. Take this opportunity to up there to lead this program going forward. Have given a new voice. So, what about this opportunity really stood out to you, man?
Well, I think it's obviously any time you get an opportunity to be a head coach in college basketball, you're pretty fortunate. So we'll start with that. There's not many jobs. A lot of people very capable of doing them. So I feel very fortunate to get the job here. I think with the AD, Allison Rich has been here for a year. I think she's got a great vision for what basketball can be here, coming from places where it's been very successful. And I think it's an opportunity to hopefully lead a program to someplace it's never been before. It's a great challenge, but it's something we're looking forward to getting going with here.
100%, but you got a lot of talent up there that way in the Northeast. You can get down to the DMV area easily. So being in the Mid-Atlantic as well. Talk about your location. Be able to find quality players who fit your system, fit your culture, fit what you want this program to be as you build it and going forward.
Well, I think you said there in the fitting your culture. I think that's the most important thing that you got to do in recruiting is you got to find guys that fit in well with what you got and what you want. And I think one of the things that stood out to me when I got the job and meeting these guys was how much they get along and how it's truly genuine. So in the recruiting piece, that's been a big part of what we want to do. But like the location is great. And, I mean, obviously not a ton of people have been to New Hampshire, but we're an hour from Boston. Like I said, we're 30 minutes from the ocean and the beaches in Maine and New Hampshire. We're not far from the mountains. And in today's game, it's not that hard to get from, here to DC or Atlanta or Chicago. So I think kids are a lot more open to traveling around to find the right opportunity. And it's our job to go out and find the guys that fit with what we want to do, that are hungry to be successful, that want to push themselves to be really good and want to be a part of something we hope will be pretty special.
So, Davis, do you feel with the transfer portal and NIL, with the Power 5 guys wanting certain guys, you can kind of get your hands on better high school guys than you used to could and build your program that way rather than going the portal route, because having that balance between the young guys and older guys in the right mesh. So how do you feel with that, maybe to have the opportunity to get more better high school guys with those guys that have been really recruited the way they used to be back in the day?
Well, it's a really interesting time in the recruiting world because of the transfer portal stuff with the immediate eligibility, because of the NIL. And honestly, the NIL is starting to I was talking to some of our administrators the other day here. And a year ago at this time when you went out on the road and people talked about NIL, it was only the high majors. Now you're out on the road and everyone's talking about it. From every level talking about it and what they're able to do, what they're trying to do. So it's coming to everywhere. The transfer portal's never going back. I think in a year or so when the fifth years are up it might change a little bit, but there's still, going to be 12, 1,300 kids in that every year. So finding the balance between guys that you can bring in for a couple years or a grad student year, one of the guys that you're going to hopefully be able to keep for 4 years. But that's the other side that's hard. If you get a really good player at our level, there's a good chance someone's going to try to take him up another level. So it's a new world we live in, and it's a challenge to everybody. I think we're all still trying to figure it out a little bit, and we'll see what happens as we move forward.
For a young man, this is my thoughts, Coach Davis. For a young man, like if you're at a school like New Hampshire and you're playing well, you get a tap on the shoulder from a group of 5 or a power 5. You'd like to come off the bench, probably. And that's like, and if you want to play professionally, cost yourself money, whether it be in the NBA, the G League, or over in Europe or in Asia. If you're not playing and showcasing your talents, you're not going to get that contract you want. So sitting on the bench playing limited minutes because you're at a name on front of a jersey, it might not help your career rise on the back end.
Yeah, that's certainly a valid point. It may not. You can make a case it goes the other way. I think that at the end of the day, guys are going to do what they think is best for them, and there's no way around it. You do your best to guide them. You do your best to make them have a great experience so that they enjoy it and want to stay. But at the end of the day, most guys are going to do what they feel is best for them. Hopefully, we can convince the guys that the best thing for them is stay where they are here in New Hampshire.
And Coach Davis, how is the workouts being beating these young men who you did retain and having workouts with those young men who you brought in as well, seeing what you have, kind of seeing what you molded, what you have to figure out as you get into August, what you really have when school starts for real.
It's been great. We've been. I got here in the early April, so I had about 3.5 weeks with them before I left to get to work out and get to know them some. We've been back here now. We're in our 4th week back here now for the summer, 4 out of 6 that we're doing. I've been really happy with the way they've worked. They are very eager to learn. They're working hard. They're putting in the work. And like I said, they really get along. So I'm excited for what the season could bring.
Now, Coach Davis, how much you've been a new head coach here, how much do you install new stuff versus working on their individual games? Or is it kind of a mesh of both?
It's a little bit of all. I look at the summer period with the 6 weeks we're here, is we're just trying to lay the foundation. Foundation of who we're going to be, what we need to do to be successful, how we're going to play, how we're going to emphasize your skills, what type of mentality we have to have, and obviously building relationships so that we all feel confident and have trust in each other moving forward. But really, I think this time of year is about laying that foundation. You got to work on skills. You got to work on it, especially when it's your first year of installing some of what you're going to do so they get a feel for how you're going to play, because it's obviously going to be a little different.
100%. And being in America East now, how much have you kind of looked at the league from afar, being used to Petro League Bucknell for a while there? So how have you looked at this league as you look those synergy, kind of see what you got to deal with going forward here, man?
Well, obviously, having played against a number of these schools, I was familiar with the league, not into the weeds and in depth about every guy on every team, but you're familiar with the league. Obviously, Vermont and John Becker's had it going. I think until someone beats them, you got to assume that they're the best team in the league. UMass Lowell's got a good program. Some other young coaches coming up in the league have done very well for themselves. So I think like every league, it's going to be a big challenge that hopefully we're up for.
And how is scheduling going? I know that's probably your hardest thing besides recruiting. And you'll be a new head coach. I'm pretty sure you get a lot of phone calls out that bitch trying to put the schedule together, man.
Yeah, fortunately, it was close to being done when we got here. We just had to get 2 more games, but we got that all set. I think we released it the other day. So it'll be challenging. I think when you're dealing with scheduling at our level, I think the big thing is we're in a 1-bid league, and you want to make sure that the best team you play in your league is not necessarily the best team you're going to play. We want to take the non-conference and certainly figure out, learn about ourselves so we can be playing our best when we get in the league play, especially down the stretch. So we want to play people that are going to push us. We obviously want to win every game, but we want to be able to find out about ourselves as well so we can work on our weaknesses.
100%, Coach. And do you feel like this for your roster, with it being so young and being tough, how do you keep them together? Because I know being at a school in OBC where I went to school at, we played a bunch of bye games. The record did not look so good, but you had to understand what this is. So how do you keep a young man's mindset when you're non-conference schedule and the record's not what you want it to be because you're playing bye games and people who are in different conferences than you? So how do you keep them understanding the bigger picture here?
Well, I think the big thing is obviously you have some games that you're playing for guarantees. They're going to be challenging to win, but you're certainly going to have a chance. There's going to be other games that you look at. Most of them you're going to look at and say, oh, those are 50-50 games, and you could win or you could lose. You got to win some of those. So there's no way to feel good about yourself if you lose every game. So you got to go in. You got to hopefully find a way to win some games and compete at a high level. But the big thing is, I think it goes back a lot to the one bid league and the way our league is set up with the highest seed in the tournament getting to host games. Is you got to look at every game as the most important game of the year. It doesn't matter whether we're playing Syracuse on November 6th or the Little Sisters of the Poor on December 23rd. It doesn't matter who you're playing. That game's got to be the most important game of the year. What you did before doesn't matter. What you're doing next doesn't matter. The only thing you control is that day. And we got to get ready for that game and play our best. And the same thing with practice. We got to approach every practice as far as what we're doing is it's the day to get better. It's the most important thing we're doing. And if we do that, we'll have a chance to be successful.
So, Dave, let me ask you this, man. I know Georgia's not, but my dad's a coach too, man. I was watching on Father's Day how all his guys hit him up, and he always gets his players hit to give them play stuff, skill their weddings and stuff like that for you. So, I want to ask you, Coach Davis, when did you think you want to get into coaching? Kind of, what's your why for being a coach, man?
Obviously, you love the game. You love the competition. You get to build great relationships with guys over the years. You're my best friends in the world or guys I've either coached with or played with over the years. It's fun to kind of watch guys grow up and see how they develop and become what they become as they become adults. But the first person I ever worked for was a guy named Bob Johnson at Emory Henry. And he had his saying where he goes, if I'm a basketball coach, I'm kind of just a basketball coach, I'm kind of wasting my life. So we're getting guys, they're 18 or 22 years old for the most part. They're learning, they're developing to men. And we have an opportunity to impact what type of people they be. And that's kind of exciting.
100%, Coach. And I feel like I know that my dad's a coach as well, but I think coaches I played for are still guys I look like you said, look to this day, who I get all that counsel from and advice from. Like you said, you get us, you can actually mold us and help us become better men. I'm almost 40 years old now, but it's like, things that Coach told me then, it's like, it makes sense now. I'm almost 40, but at 20 years old, I was like, really? But now it all makes sense to me now, almost being 40.
Yeah, it's a wild ride. I mean, like you said, I've been around guys that I've known that were like 8, 9 years old. They're now in coaching. Been coming to camps and things like that. So it's fun. It's interesting to watch them grow up, see how they change, and see the type of people they become.
And Coach, I got 2 more for you, man. How was the food up there, man? What kind of food spots up there you really enjoyed since you've been up there in Durham, man, to really get you and your staff going, man?
The food is outstanding. Like I said, we're right by the coast. I'm a big seafood guy, so you got lobster rolls, clam chowder, crab cakes, you name it, it's up here, and you can never go wrong with a good steak either. So very, very happy with the food selections here in this area.
Last one for you. Talk about your staff, Coach Davis. As you know, being a new hire, man, it's also good to have the right people around you who are loyal to your vision, loyal to the program. So about the staff you hired, man, and how they're going to help you and your players be better this season and going beyond.
I think I was very fortunate that we were able to hire a great staff. I've been around a long time. Unfortunately, you kind of look back and you're like, now you're kind of getting older. So you're one of the older guys that you're looking at 30 years ago when you got started. So a different perspective, but I'm really excited by the staff. I think they've been great so far. Started by hiring Jimmy Allen, who was the head coach at West Point, who I've known. We worked together in Navy. We played against each other in college. He's an outstanding coach, has done it at a high level and been very successful for a long time. Hired Tyler Wilson, who came from Manhattan, was a great player there, and then went to coaching for Coach Masiello there. And Luis Guzman, who was actually John Chaney's last recruit at Temple, ended up playing 4 years for Coach Dunphy. Played some professionally and has been in a number of spots since then. So I think it's a diverse group, lots of different strengths. But the things I think that stand out, they're very good teachers. They build good relationships. They work hard in recruiting, and they're willing to do all the little jobs that no one wants to do, and they do want a smile on their face.
I hear that, Coach. Coach Davis, good to talk to you again. I'm glad you get back on your feet here in New Hampshire, man. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you all do. America East, and I'm always looking forward to having the show. You do future, Coach.
Thank you. Have a good day.
See you, Coach.
All right.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your #1 source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online when the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.